Hello, 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 hello. Hey everybody, how y'all doing? Good morning, good evening, good afternoon to you, wherever you are, whatever time it is when you listen to this. Welcome to my fifth degree page. I'm fifth degree, but you could call me fifth. Okay, so I'm hoping everybody's doing okay. Had a good day so far. It's Tuesday. You know, some people may be watching for business, but Tuesday, Mars, we just came out of the Mars Moon conjunct, and it dawned on me that it was an asteroid shower. So if you're looking at this from the perspective of different types of influences that could have come into place, with what it is that would be grounded, all of that type of things, you might want to pay some of that stuff some attention. The other portion of it, though, right? Um, we have Saturn retrograde. We also have Neptune retrograde, and for whatever reason, it's going to be really imperative of what it was that took place when Mars went retrograde in Cancer, and then in, was it Leo? I want to say it went retrograde in Cancer, and then it went retrograde in Leo. And the irony that comes into place with how, which planet? It was a planet that went retrograde in Mars, but then it went and then it shifted to Pisces. So in short, how it's the crossing portion, that's the whole crossroads aspect that keeps coming into place with you. Because the planets going retrograde in opposite directions and them being so close to each other. I'm thinking that's some of what it will have to deal with. So y'all pay attention to that, please. Please, 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 please pay attention to these types of things, ladies and gentlemen. It could be very important and imperative to and with and for yourself. Okay, so it's that part. I don't know what these. I don't know how this is going to come out, y'all. I really don't. I don't know how these decks are going to. It's not even necessarily about what they're going to talk about, so to speak, but more so. Okay, okay. I just heard. I don't want none of those. Okay. We're not using none of those to communicate today. All right. We're not using none of that to communicate. Well, I'll be damned. So in any event, um, the other part of it, right, is with Mars, not Mars. Yeah, with the Mars and Moon being conjunct, it'll be about what would be hidden in competition. One of the things that I've learned that typically happens on the competitive aspect, for whatever reason, however it comes into place, how a person could either secretly put you in competition with someone. Oh, last night, y'all, though, right? I looked up dating terms. I'm very proud of myself because I was like, ooh, I might have to know some of this stuff for people I might be around. And some of the paper clipping. Paper clipping was something that had came to me a lot because it would be something that wouldn't only necessarily take place in romantic dating, but it is something that could take place in doing business as well. So, y'all be mindful of this. Please be okay. Please be mindful of that. The other thing, right, that comes up into place in space is getting a good understanding of how you would be affected. Reading was I did yesterday, it talked a lot about, or one of the wisdoms that'll come into place with a person having inner conflict and inner turmoil about certain situations. So, paying that some attention. How you would pay those things attention. All right. The other portion of it, right, of what's coming to me. Shout out to the people who were on my page or read my poem. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. Cause early in the morning. Do you hear me? In the morning, early. I heard a whole bunch of conversations in regards to me. I'm like, I don't know where this conversation is taking place, but I am totally not wherever it is. I'm totally not wherever it is. But so there's that. the other part of it. I'm trying to think what else. What else? What I will say in regards to something right now though is in regards to those people who have been along my journey and have given me a donation that I've asked for in the way I've asked for, I like to say thank you. That's what I'll say in regards to that. But for the rest of some stuff, yeah, I had to switch some shit up. I had to start complaining. I typically don't like complaining because I feel like complaining don't ever really get shit done. Not for me. Maybe with other people it may motivate them, but it don't get shit done with me. For me, I typically just try to do whatever I'm gonna do and then keep it pushing. Uh, Now in this regard though, I was like, you know what? And it wouldn't even necessarily be about the complaint. I think the biggest thing is that got misconstrued is after you've asked so many people for help in your space, you have to cast a broader net. Is basically what that's given. The other portion of it is I've been walking through a lot of spider webs. A whole lot of yeah. I've just been feeling like a lot of spider webs, like in just random odd ass places. I'm like the spiders don't even fucking be in this space. What the hell? Damn it! What the hell? What the hell? So that was something. So I'm thinking it's gonna be part of it'll be about definitely creative projects. The other thing that spiderwebs always reminds me of is Charlotte's Web, right? How everybody was constituting that Wilbur the pig was the one that was just so amazing because because of what word was webbed in the actual web, right? That Charlotte created. And it was not until you get to the end of the book that it taught that someone acknowledges, okay, you're talking about it being some pig, that's some spider, right? Because that spider uh is the one who created the word in the web, right? And sure, how people may not like to acknowledge what constitutes as creepy crawly things. One of the things is also kind of reminded me of is I did a reading, right? All of us have had well after so many times, right? You've had a past life as an animal of some sort, right? And that's just the way that life works. And since we're looping back around to that, if you've had a past life as an animal, right? One of the things that I was tripping off of was like if a person had a past life as like a roach or as like an ant or a ant, right? As an ant or as a or as yeah as anything, right? That as a slug, you know what I'm saying? Anything that we consider creepy crawly, what it's supposed to do is give us an understanding of like the whole circle of life situation. And I keep hearing roaring. I do. I'm thinking I'm gonna be hearing that all the way up until the actual time when they usually open the Lions Gate, because usually they open it um on 8/8, but it was 4 years ago. I want to say when it was a 7 year that they opened it like that. Yeah, they opened 5, 6, 7, and then this year I see that they opened it at 7, 8, 9. So yeah, or all yeah because they closed it for a little second, and it's gonna be depending upon how long the Lions Gate is open. Some of the other stuff that's gonna be pertaining to is gonna be about the fashion industry, film industry most certainly, fashion, projection magic. You want to pay attention to that. Um, just just pay attention to these things, right? Because everybody keeps focusing on Mercury retrograde, but pay attention to as well Neptune, because Neptune realistically deals a lot with how you perceive things, perception, both Uranus and Neptune, right? Deal with how you perceive things as far as illusions, delusions, psychic abilities, yeah, like all your clair audio, your clair shit, CLAIR shit, or clairs, CLAIRE, apostrophe S, that's a store. That'll kind of constitute as Mars. But in any event, uh, I'll just keep going. Okay. But with any of your clair shit, right? It comes from Uranus and Neptune. That's what those are associated with. Oh my God, my nose is itching so much. Oh my goodness. Okay, so there's that. Um, no, cause my nose been itching a whole lot, and my hand been itching a lot. So we gonna see. We gonna see exactly what's been going on. Both sides, primarily the left side though. Left side been itching a whole lot, and then every now and again the right side will itch. But the way that it usually manifests for me is kind of backwards as to what it would mean. I just know that it would mean that, yeah. No, because part of it will be about within the whole company aspect. The company, you keep pay attention to the businesses it is that you would keep, because this is Tuesday. I'm totally not trying to turn it into a love reading. If it goes there, it goes there. But the appropriate love for a business would be finances. Or adoration and admiration, yeah. And you typically show that to a business through finances. Yeah, it doesn't matter how you try to get around it. Money is involved. That's typically, yeah, the irony that comes is like everybody loves the free shit. Everybody they claim to love the free shit only when it looks a particular way. Is what I'll say in regards to it. All right. So there's this. Make sure you got your journals out. Please make sure you have your journals out. And I know I was trying to see something for real, y'all, because I know I've noticed that we'll have. Okay, I hope I did that right. I'm trying some new shit, y'all. I'm trying some new shit, y'all. I'm trying to see how this new shit work out. But yeah, so ultimately, um, with everything it was that was or is kind of going on, right? I've been paying attention to how it would be that we get some clarity on some shit. So make sure you got your journals out, especially if you're paying attention to moon cycles, because moon cycles have been coming up a whole lot right now. Oh my God, moon cycles have been coming up so much right now. And I'm thinking that part of the issue that comes into place with moon cycles coming up is because a lot of people depend on the moon to do their magic and things of that nature. And since they depend on the moon essence, you got to have clear emotions and clear intentions in order to be successful in those aspects. But we gonna check it out. We gonna see exactly what it is we got going on. All right. I don't know what these decks are that I pulled out to use. I'm totally not sure what they are. So just bear with me. And there we go. Okay, I'll do that next time. All right. So let's see. I'm starting off with the Kipper deck. Oh yeah, I'm fine. I'm trying. You want to know what it is? I'm trying to get a good idea of what it is I would need to do. So, in regards to poverty. Okay, so that's the first card out. Poverty. 37. Okay. Child, great fortune. Wealthy man. Okay. Community, unexpected income. Right. Yeah, so what would be coming in is in regards to the community with unexpected income. That's part of it. The other portion. Okay, other portion that'll come into place for you is when you're outside of the community and the income is expected. False person, being an actor, actress, not being the actual person, power, not being, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I had a TikTok like that. That's from public broadcasting service, PBS. That was something that took place all across the country. Oh, great. Okay, courthouse. Income, courthouse. Okay. Courthouse, occupation. These came out in the reverse. So the great fortune within one not having an occupation. Great fortune, one not being occupied. Okay, not being occupied. Oh. And then there being the one being outside of the courthouse and outside, the incoming verdict judgments that come into place with being outside of the community. False person. This false person keeps coming up. Overall essence of privileged lady. What it is to constitute as a privileged lady. A message of concern. Yeah, a lot of this stuff is going to be, it's about the rotation of the planets. Yeah, check the rotation. I'm thinking that's a part of what some of this shit is going to be about. Check your rotation. If you're talking about a vehicle to any capacity, like one hasn't come out in this, but when you're talking about a vehicle of any sort, right? One of the things it is that can happen is it can fuck up in a lot of different aspects. One of the things it is that can happen, or that I've genuinely seen numbers go down before on different shit. I've seen them go down and then I've seen them jump really high up. Just like out of nowhere. So, there's that. But official person, overall essence of official person. Some of this is going to be about master builder essence. Some of it is going to be about some actual generals and stuff like that. This is a lot of shit, y'all. Yeah, because it's going to be about the rotation curving. No, this looks like an arm. Push-ups. This looks like push-ups. Like if you're doing a push-up with one of your legs up. What? I'm just saying. The beauty of it, right? That'll come into place with it. You want to know what it is? Nah, okay, because this is kind of throwing me back, right, to one of the first readings I did. One of the very first readings it was that I did. The cards all came out the way they came out, they told a story. Within them coming out and telling the story, it was an anchor. When I stood up and just looked at it from above down over it, it was an anchor, right? If this is about the monster sauce and strings, that's how I get my information. See, I don't just pay attention to the cards, so to speak. I also pay attention to like if any pictures and stuff come out because that'll let me know if the person is a real artist or not. So I pay attention to that kind of stuff too. So the new beginning that will come in regards to the message of concern with the occupation, with there being thief and lover, right? Yeah, within the whole arm portion of it. Let's turn this up. Since it made a picture, we gotta turn it up. But in the new beginning, right, the occupation that comes in regards to there being a message of concern overly, overly, overly. Overlet. Okay. And then there being a thief or robbery of lovers. How a person would feel like somebody stole their lover in the beginning. Yeah, it took a loved one. Took a loved one. That's definitely something. The other portion of it is bad health, change, and false person. So some of this stuff is gonna be about some of the acts it is that will be going on within the official person having bad health as the change. And what it is that happens when within one masking themselves, and what it is to be outside of the community of unexpected income. One of the other things that was really coming to me a whole lot is promoters. The movie Janky Promoters with Ice Cube and I want to say it was Ice Cube and Mike Epps. The movie Janky Promoters. That was something that was really coming to me a whole lot too. So I don't know what that's gonna be in regards to. Well, I know how it would resonate for me, but with others, not necessarily quite sure. Right? Hold on, I gotta fix this. Okay, it's giving being on the prowl. Now, if anybody was questioning why was I posted what I posted, right? Because the whole time I'm playing love songs last night, child, right? Whole time I'm playing them on my page, I'm hearing people telepathically communicating on my page. Why won't she just let up? Why won't she just let up? And I'm hearing, I don't know. I don't know. Why won't she? Yeah, it's one of those because I used to say this a whole lot on my Facebook page when I would do this. The exact same way, just on my Facebook page, right? I control my vibe. Let me control my damn vibe. You don't worry about my vibe. You let me control my own vibe. And when you have to fight to control your vibe, if that makes sense, okay? So it's that part. The other thing that a lot of it is given is in the poverty aspect. What is given is how having a child would bring about great fortune to a wealthy man. And then, in addition to this, all right, can you read the numbers off, please? Yeah, 37, 18, 26, 13, 39, 27, 23, 14, 34, 24, 15, 31, 9, 8. Overall essence of it is a 22. You can add that up however you want to. Now, because I've learned with adding it up, some people will add it differently. If I add it up based off of the way I see it going, it may come up to one number. But if I add it up, yeah, if I add it up based off of connect the dots. Who likes to play the game Connect the Dots? If you've ever played the game Connect the Dots, and one of the other spatial reasoning and spatial thinking is something that had been coming to me a whole lot. So there's that portion. And what goes or comes into place with, a child being poor children. Nah, it'll be about potenting. Is that what? I wasn't okay. Pause. If a person took that as being sarcastic, that's typically the reason why. Yes, why I always be like, you know what? I don't think it's a good idea for me to play or for me to play songs. I don't think it's a good idea for me to do readings because because it's a lot of spiteful or Andre motherfuckers who will look on my page and think that everything has to be about them. I just heard leverage. I was not trying to say that. I have messages that need to be delivered to people. Period. So it's not, if you're looking for your message, you need to schedule your appointment with Lightwork and Lightwork LLC. That's what you need to do. And the issue that comes into place with this, because the issue that comes into place with a lot of this typically is in the whole leverage department. People expect for people to be like super egotistical all the damn time, and that's not what that's about. When you have real power, whether you realize it or not, real power is paying attention to the cause and effect of situations. It is of any and every situation. It is not only about and the reason why it would be done. Absolutely, the reasons why it would be done and what part it is that one would play in certain situations. So it's that part. The other portion. I heard because sometimes you might have to stop dealing with the people you're dealing with. You might. It's really one of the things that I learned is if you within growing in a situation, a lot of times I just heard, can you talk about your experiences in that? One of the one of the things it is that I know that took place with me with all of this shit. The expectation I knew for a fact when I first started seeing what it was that was happening on the energetic level and just out of nowhere. I noticed something that's called the shedding, right? the shedding of the atmosphere, and within the shedding of the atmosphere that will come into place, it was in regards to me having to not know what my sign was, the sign that I shed the atmosphere in. That wasn't what was important. What was important is me understanding what that sign represented, right? So, within me understanding that, that's how I personally was able to cope and evolve. The purpose I know for a lot of stuff was so that I wouldn't see love in all of its forms. I would only see the darker portions and aspects. And within me seeing the darker portions and aspects, there were a lot of people who got mad because my eyes adjusted to the darkness. If you've ever seen the movie Pitch Black, it gives that kind of feel. Okay, y'all. Yeah, if you want me to explain it to you how I did it, it gave that feel of, okay, it's pitch black. I can't see anything, but I know I'm an empath, so I can feel what's right and what's wrong, and which place to go and which way not to go. Even even with me watching other readings, I was able to hear other messages that was going on during the reading. And one of the things that always come into place, I'm sorry, go ahead and say whatever you have to mind. One of the things that always come into place, whenever I get certain reports, it shows a lot of judgment, and you not in the courthouse. It shows a whole lot of judgment in regards to some shit. It really does. You can't say what somebody is or isn't when you are wherever you are and they are wherever they are, and everybody has their own particular journeys that they have to go along. That's not a coping mechanism. That's just a okay thing, right? Now, right is right and wrong is wrong. Period. Right is right and wrong is wrong. But when it's all said and done and all done and said, after you've acknowledged it's wrong or why you feel like it would be wrong, pay attention to why it's highlighted for you so much, because it could be one of those situations that it would have been something you would have did. I heard something about looking for the brokenness in the mirror. Yeah. And sure, when you look in the mirror and you look for everything that's wrong in the mirror, opposed to checking for everything that's right before you check for what's wrong. Basically, is what that boils down to. I just heard damn good. Thank you. I try to be. I try to be. I don't know exactly how well that works, but I try to be. It's that portion. And the other thing that is really kind of going back to is it was a time when I was at the Mark Twain Hotel. Okay, I heard don't use those yet. Okay. But when I was at the Mark Twain Hotel, right? What ended up happening was my eyes, they just out of nowhere started hurting so bad. Oh my God, my eyes was hurting so bad. Yeah, I couldn't open them up for real or anything. And within that taking place, because I know what to do for those types of situations. I was able to open them up enough so that I could see just enough. See just enough to get to what it was that I needed to. That was that part. The other part of it was another thing that was coming to me is it's an old ass story, parable, tale, whatever, amongst us magical people, right? Where it was a witch, supposedly, who betrayed her coven, so to speak. Her, and that's why you're solitary. Absolutely, because everything and anything can constitute as a betrayal to a coven in today's time. You motherfuckers are so fickle and funny. It's fucking ridiculous. And partnerships too. Yeah, all that shit be so fickle and fucking funny. It's one of those, you know what, I'd rather just do this shit by myself and teach who I need to teach it to, or yeah, if I'm led to teach it to a person, then I'll teach it to that person. If I'm not, if I don't get that opportunity, just because I want to teach it to an individual doesn't mean that it's actually going to happen. But then, yeah, because I'm impressionable. I'm impressionable like that, child. Don't get mad at me. I'm impressionable because when I notice that a person wants to learn and they have a pure heart in learning, right? They just want to learn. It's one of those, okay, this person has a pure heart. They want to learn. They have good, what would appear to be good intentions. Now, that be the thing where y'all be fucking up. People fuck up on a very regular basis because they would act or behave, and that's where this false person is coming into place. They would behave as if they would have good or pure intentions, but universe sees all. So there's that portion. So in regards to, yeah, because some of this stuff is gonna be about how shit will be tried in spiritual court first, how it's tried in spiritual court, and then it would shift to what would go on in actual court. So it's that part. I got the Starman Tarot out right now. Yeah, I ain't know which three these was, but I just heard I yelled while I was going over my deck. It was confirmed what is and what isn't. So it's that. The other portion of this, yeah, the poverty that would, you know what? It's kind of giving that whole Daddy Warbucks. So if you deal with the deity Annie, I'm thinking that's him. Yeah, I think that's important. Any orphans, orphanages. Oh, I know the fuck you. Oh, we going there, y'all. Great. No, because some of this other stuff is going to be about how a person would change on their deathbed. Yeah, and whether or not a person would be able to get into heaven if they change while they dying. If they would enter the gates of, okay, if we're going to have an intellectual discussion about that, then we can do that. But if y'all gonna get in y'all feelings with what my perception on it is, yeah, because in that regard, you got people who would genuinely believe that they can fuck up and fuck over their life and everybody else's life, right? With what it is they will be saying and what it is that they will be doing. And then when they die, be like, Lord, forgive me. Well, you haven't made atonement to get into heaven for it. So yeah, either get into heaven or you yeah, you have to atonement is always going to be something that's really important. And a lot of people forget about that part. And the way that you atone for it is by, for lack of better phrasing, surviving whatever it is you're supposed to. Be careful what you ask for, and it's kind of what I'm getting from it. In regards to the decisions it is that will be made. Decisions being cut. I heard when you know you right, just stick to it. Yeah, it's okay to just stick to it. If we talking about moon essences though, and two of swords, that's Libra essence. So that'll be talking about that a piece of clarity that you hold to yourself versus a piece of clarity that you will put out. That's from the visions deck though. Yeah, and sure how a person would have known that they were wrong. It would have felt wrong. They would, yeah. That be that damn indecisive shit. Don't nobody like nobody who indecisive. And it's not, or waiting your turn. It's not even about necessarily waiting your turn. Because with the way motherfuckers be destiny swapping and shit, come on now, y'all. We talking, we're the magical people. Okay? We not finna sit up here and play like we don't know about destiny swapping and all this other shit. It is that be going on. And then the indecisive nature that'll come into place with it is, oh, I want this person's destiny, but you don't have what it takes to go through what that person would have gone through. So you could be in that space or place or whatever, but that don't mean too much or nothing if you in that space or place and it ain't shit you can do with it. Yeah, that's kind of ridiculous, y'all. I'm gonna need y'all to have a seat for several. Yeah, but this what I'm getting from this is having a childlike mindset. Since this looks like a person doing push-ups, yeah, with this looking like a person doing some push-ups or planks, yeah, and no, what's those things called? Because it's a certain type of push-up. It is that you do with your leg up. It's supposed to be like a full body workout situation. Yeah, and the whole see you gotta work it out. You gotta work it out. You gotta work it out. Oh, you gotta work it out. Part of the thing that comes in, okay, with the question was that I just heard about how was that a person would be able to. I heard you. Okay, how was I was able to take care of so much? I was being obedient. I did what was told to me in that moment. In that moment, in those moments. And I was told, just listen, I was told that I would be protected and that I would be safe, right? Throughout the whole process. I didn't believe it until after I actually saw it happen. That's just the way I've been in my adult life. I didn't believe it until I saw it. And a lot of people always like to refer back to it in their awareness of spirituality of Doubting Thomas. God has created me the way that they created me so that I can be like, okay, yes, I know this works. Yes, I know what this is. Yes, I know that because of the tangibility of it for those people who need the tangibility of it. So you can say whatever you want to about it, but it still don't negate the fact that now I can understand and have the belief of, yeah, I'll be protected. It's just a matter of how. And one of the things I will go ahead and say is when somebody takes your assignment from you, that doesn't come. Yes, that or that say what you have to. That's typically one of those situations where you do have a a destiny swap, and that typically happens a lot with really controlling motherfuckers. People who are really controlling and who are indecisive about their life, but they can make a decision on yours. That ain't fair and that ain't cool. But it's one of those you ensure until you can make a decision about your shit, you know, Don't worry about mine. And the reality is, the decisions that would be made in regards to a lot of situations, you don't have to tell everybody what your decision is. This overall essence of it is High Priestess reverse. So some of this will be about in the Starman, Starseed aspect. It'll be about for some people being led down the wrong path. For others, it'll be about revealing the priestess that will be involved. In other situations, it'll be about a priestess that would have passed away or a karmic priestess. Now, within us being in the magical community, yeah, look at it like Bellatrix, say for instance, right? Because her heart got broken basically is why she went to the dark side. But even if you have a different understanding in regards to it, right? Yeah, understand why your heart would have been broken in the first place. In short, a lot of people always say that it's a battle between the head and the heart. It's not that much of a battle between the head and the heart. And men and women are a lot alike. Whether we like to acknowledge it or not is fucking irrelevant. When you sit down and you really pay attention, we're a lot alike. True enough, our anatomy is different, but emotions are emotions. Period. That part. The other portion of it that comes into place with it is with paying attention to what it is that will go on in regards to the Princess of Pentacles, Two of Cups reverse. Okay. So some offers of stability. But the Princess of Pentacles, Two of Cups reverse, King of Wands upright, Seven of Cups reverse, Ten of Wands reverse, King of Pentacles reverse. Okay, so and some of this is gonna be about the incoming priestess, right? In the alchemicalization portion, it'll be about some of the decisions and shit that would have come into place with the community having unexpected income in regards to like the whole courthouse situation, spiritual court, regular court, whatever, what have you, right? Yeah, because a priestess is just a person who's practiced for a while. If they don't, yeah, high priestess, whatever, what have you. Y'all know where this shit fit. Okay, I'm just giving you as much as I can right now. But what it is that would have happened with the offer of stability in the spiritual and supernatural bursts within the Capricorn essence, thoughts and shit like that would have come into place. But being hate at amongst first glance, right? It being about hate or 2 months ago in regards to one acting on their inspiration within things not being an illusion. Now, one of the things I was thinking is shit is getting weird. Part infinity. My bad. But with things not being an illusion, one not having a complete emotional aspect in regards to relieving the burden within King of Pentacles. In short, where, yeah, the difference between King of Wands versus King of Pentacles. Now, on the incoming aspect, right, what it is to be, and it be an illusion of a burden of the King of Pentacles. In short, you gotta pay attention to a lot of this shit, y'all. Because in regards to it, it'll be about it not being an illusion of relieving the burdens of financial abuse. And how, okay, in regards to this whole star seed aspect, yeah, how a child would be more upset about it than an adult would. And the child doing some shit, yeah, the child doing the writings or the spell work, Y'all need to get y'all fucking kids. Get your kids, because one of the things it is that I personally do with mine, yeah, they're not allowed to learn those things just because of fucking Harry Potter and Hogwarts. They have to learn self control and shit like that first. That typically be the problem that comes into place when you see that a child will have supernatural gifts to any capacity. They gotta learn self control. They gotta learn discipline. They have to learn how to focus their essence appropriately. They need to know right and wrong first. If you're going to refer back to the movie The Matrix, all of those children that she had in that space had self control first. Because otherwise, shit will be just all over the damn place. That's why she kept them in that space, to keep them safe. Not necessarily only from other people, but keep them safe from themselves. Because they will be very impressionable. But in regards to it, it'll be about how this Princess of Pentacles will hate the King of Wands, and the reality, and there not being confusion in regards to the why it would have been a relief of the burden with this materialistic person, or a person being with this King of Pentacles being in the reverse. It's the understanding of it. It's part of it. The other portion of it that will come into place with it is how a child will be poor. I know y'all, okay. Is this about the I don't want your bitch, we can't swap out? If you turned your kid into that's your fault. Y'all need to stop playing these fucking games. Stop playing these games. Yeah, because it's putting a child in an adult's place while they're a child. And then when they become an adult and you see all the shit that you fucked up with, now you try to fix it with them as an adult, as if they were a child. No, that time has gone. That time has passed. You can't. You should have did the shit the right way when they were a fucking kid. What the hell? Y'all do too much and not enough. All at the same damn time. Oh, and that'll be the other thing. Yeah, if a lot of shit would have been done at the same time. Mm, 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 mm. Y'all done fucked up the church's money. Fucked up. Oh, I don't even know what to say about none of this. No, because I was not expecting for it to be the vampires deck to come out. Oh, and because children, untrained children especially in that regard. If you know that there's a energetic heightened aspect that comes into place with them to any capacity, and they aren't trained, they can be narcissists. So I'm guessing this is going back to the dynamic of the parent-child narcissism that could come into place with things. If this is about that whole villains thing, that our villains portion, okay, wow. Did I hear that right? I just heard she keeps seeing your reflection in the mirror. Okay, did she read my book? That's part one. Did you read my book? If you didn't read my book, then it's ultimately telling you that it's some shit in you that you need to fucking fix. Fix your damn self. And scrying is not for the weak at heart. Because that's a fucking portal, you weird people. That's what, oh my God. I've told people in real life, in 3D, how they can protect themselves from all of this kind of shit. I know I did. I know how to handle it now that I've had so much shit go on, but you a little bitty fucking kid. Why are you doing that shit? That's what happens when you motherfuckers raise child narcissists. And you don't even ask the probing question. When you know that they're intellectual and they're heightened, and all you have to do is ask the question, are you sure this is how you feel? What makes you feel this way? Have the conversation. After having the damn conversation, if the conversation don't work, in some instances you need to whoop their ass. What? I'm just saying. Either you do it or the universe gonna do it. In that regard, it'll be about be careful of what you are projecting. Because the things you don't like about yourself, you'll see them in others. Equally so, the things you do like about yourself, you'll see them in others. So when you like yourself, love yourself, and respect yourself, and see certain shit that is that will be going on, it makes it so fucking easy for you to be able to respect that in somebody else when you see it manifest in them. The negativity, Queen of Knives, reverse, or incoming. Yeah, because this is the vampires deck, y'all. So, highest vibration, it'll be about being an empath. Lowest, it'll be about being, no, mid, it'll be about being a narcissist. Lowest, it'll be about a person who would have passed away and they're trying to communicate. Okay, I just heard. Oh, I'm going to just say okay. Okay. I just heard being an empath is hard, man. It is, and it fucking sucks. Especially when you get people, when you get motherfuckers around you who be on bullshit. Oh, hell yeah. You can feel everything all the time before it happens. Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay, side note. I remember when I was working at Rooster, right? This is when that shit like really ramped up and it made me be like, okay, bitch, you gotta take care of yourself for real, for real. So you know what your shit is versus what somebody else shit is. I remember the night before, right? I had to go to work this one night, y'all, right? My whole bottom half felt dead to me. Like I couldn't feel shit. Okay? I was walking around, but I couldn't feel a damn thing. Okay? What ended up happening the next day, right, when I went into work, thankfully I'm a hostess, or I was the hostess. It was a whole lot of people that came in that were handicapped. Whole bunch of people that came in that were handicapped. All right. So within them coming in, and I was able to identify what it was that I was feeling, it made it easier for me to be able to start actually moving around again. Now, even then, what helped me to be able to move around was that I had learned different shit in regards to frequencies from when I was in an accident. And I didn't get no painkillers. Like I wasn't allotted any fucking painkillers to any capacity or any extent. And I seen it as it being a joke and some bullshit because I followed the chain of energetic workings that have been done on me. But for any comment to have been made even before the situation that I posted with the show it was that I was participating with, for the comment to be made, I'm okay with healing. It's one of those, I don't want nobody touching me that I don't fucking know. I've always been that way. And a lot of people got really pissed off with me about that, especially when I started healing, period, when I was at my house. I don't like a lot of people fucking touching me. Not all the time. It took me a while to even be able to be okay with knowing that I was in a profession that children, when they like you, they want to run up to you and hug your ass. In short, don't always put it on. I've always known I was an empath. I didn't know what to call it. I just knew I could feel the shit before it would happen. And I could see the shit before it would happen. I wasn't able to put a label on it though. That's the problem that comes into place with labels. Yeah, because in regards to this whole the divine masculine, divine feminine shit, stop calling yourself divine masculine or divine feminine. Stop. Yeah, that's one of the things that helped me grow a whole lot. Because it will, in the narcissistic aspect, what it'll do is it'll automatically make you believe that everything you think and do and say is right, and there will be no room for growth, learning, or correction. So strip all that shit away from you. Divine masculine, soulmate, all that shit. You're a soul at the core of all of it. Those are titles that people would, I guess you could say, give to you. Yeah, to try elitism. Yeah, to try to bestow elitism and classism and all this other shit. Unnecessary shit, might I add. And on another note, because Far Away came to me, I know how it's manifested, but lavender marriages is one part. The other part of it is, why are you so worried about who fucking who if you not fucking them? If you're not being intimate with the person, that ain't your business. If somebody share that with you, okay. But that ain't your motherfucking business. Because one of the little things it is that people don't like to talk about in regards to some of this shit is how some people want to know about what you're doing in the bedroom with somebody else, not so that they could do it with their partner, but so that they could imagine themselves doing it with your partner. That can create obstacles and blockages. Especially amongst us. You motherfuckers is not handling, yeah. Some of you people must not be handling y'all shit correctly. Y'all couldn't be. For me to intuitively pick up the damn vampires deck, oh my god. No, because whenever the vampires deck comes into place, it's a couple things. One of them, it would be on the medical aspect. It'll be talking about, I'm hearing bloodborne diseases. That's one of them. Another one, it would be talking about, like anemia, and how it was a reading I did a while ago. But how in the vampirism aspect, one of the practices that they had in ancient Egypt actually is where it's most commonly credited to, but what I'm hearing is that it's realistically Macedonia. In short, the shit was happening all over the world, right? But ultimately, what the disease does is a person would at first would get a blood transfusion. Now, at the lowest form of it, right, the blood transfusion would have to take place through a person drinking it, right? but it was perfected with the surgeons in ancient Egypt with putting the blood of a person, not draining them, but put the blood of a person in a pig skin. And they created tubes and shit out of the intestines. That's what it looked like, I'm saying. But out of the intestines, and then the needle that they would have created, and it would have been crafted. That would have been a blacksmith that would have did that though. That would have been a trade and a skill. So that there would be a blood transfusion to get the blood to the person. So yeah, it's a particular type of disease where a person, I heard, could it be aided through cannibalism? If you talking about that 666 people, that's Muslim stuff. That's a part of they, yeah. No, because the mirroring effect of it would be the Tibetan monks. And if you always blaming it, yeah, if you always blaming it on the number six, stop. Yeah, leave shit the fuck alone. Number six is not bad. In the alchemical aspect of it, or in the scientific portion of it, the 666 is the code for fucking melanin. It's only because you bitches want to be so damn frightful and scared all the damn time that you automatically associate it. Oh my God, it's the devil. They do be giving certain shit too much credit because the scientist has the same exposure to information. Meaning, and when I say the scientist, I mean the person who is willing to question, to ask the question. And a lot of people get mad when a person asks a question, because now they either have to give an answer that's truthful, that's a lie, or they can tell as much as they want to of it. Okay? So it's that part. Now the other part of this, right? Yeah, because we got Queen of Swords reverse, Queen of Scepters reverse, Two of Scepters reverse, Five of Scepters reverse. At first glance, it'll be about being out of conflict within the path. And it not, but no, I'm not hearing that it's the path. And sure, it wouldn't have been a world that one would have created with one being out of conflict. I'm seeing that meme. I know you motherfuckers didn't. Lord, oh God. I'm seeing the meme where it's a man, he laying down, and he got his daughter and his woman, right? And the daughter is like, my daddy. And the woman is like, no, my daddy. I'm gonna need y'all to get y'all shit together. This is for you motherfuckers who like having too many women and don't know how to put shit where it's supposed to fucking go. Yeah, that do be a reason why I be having problems with motherfuckers be wanting to being called daddy. Cause you can't be expecting for everybody to call your ass daddy and you can't afford to take care of all of them. What the fuck? That's how y'all bitch. That's how y'all be getting set up. I promise y'all. I told the men and the women, watch out for this shit. I said this shit damn me 6 years ago, before all hell broke loose. When I was being all loving and encouraging and super sweet and no, divine masculine, You can't be this way. You narcissistic motherfuckers decided y'all want to play. Y'all play too much. These motherfuckers play too much. And then y'all wonder why motherfuckers need to smoke weed. My God. My bitch need a drink. Shit. Anyway. I've not ever had a problem with people smoking. Actually, in regards to it, a lot of it is medicinal, whether we want to acknowledge it or not, because whatever the fuck they doing or saying is going on. Yeah, because a lot of the shit is that's happening now, from what I see, would be karma for when they thanks Mercury, for when they locked up a lot of people over weed charges. With the war on drugs. Now, because I feel preempted to saying how black people have a tendency, yeah, it's like they not comfortable if they not in conflict. That's a trauma response. You guys know that, right? That's a trauma response. If you always got to be in a fight or feel like you fighting something outside of you, that's a trauma response to some of the other shit. I'm not saying that I'm not guilty of it. And realistically, it's not it's not a matter of innocence or guilt. It's a matter of identification. Okay? So you gotta identify it. You gotta identify it. Stop using the wrong words for the wrong shit, because then you'll interpret the message completely wrong, all because a certain word would have been utilized. So there's that. The other part, what I'm going to say in regards to this, because it fell directly in between the Princess of Pentacles and the Two of Cups reverse, with this Queen of Knives reverse and this Queen of Scepters reverse, what this is telling me is that there would have been a situation that would have been going on with these two karmic essences if you would have had that person around these two karmic essences. And they would have learned through environment, quite possibly. Fuck it, it's not a quite possibly, yes. One of the beautiful things that I noticed in that one movie that I watched with Kevin Bacon, and I want to say it was Julianne Moore. The girl in it, she stated the best way to overcome certain traumatic situations is by getting your ass up out of it. If it's fucking with you that much, get away from it. There's nothing wrong with getting away from it. That's that part. The other portion of it is, yeah, because you could hinder the growth of, in this regard, if we're talking about kids, actual children, right? Her, can you say something that you saw? I just saw the baby hooked up with somebody. Whenever I see a rapper in love with somebody, it just warms my little heart. It do, because it be one of those. See, yeah, and the color purple would be. See, sinners have souls too, Daddy. But on the other part of it, it'll be. I just need a hug. I just need a hug. I just needed somebody to love me. I needed a purpose behind me fucking shit up. No, because now I feel preempted for common and having uncommon sense. I know that Keisha ass better not be trying to. That girl better leave me the fuck alone. She better keep her ass where the fuck she is. I'm staying where the fuck I am. She better, yeah, keep her mouth. She needs to keep her mouth off me. Don't put your mouth on that. And then, okay, so Daughter of Skulls just came out. I have been seeing this particular type of ritual being done a few different times already, where you would have a human skull. No, not that one. Where it's an assignment for like zombification. No, not that one. No, not that one in Hoodoo either. But it would be a human skull of, now this is given the vampiric nature, right? But this will require the medical records to know if a person had like anemia or if they had issues with like vampirism. There you go. Actual disease where they would need, yeah, because some people don't do well with it just being the hemoglobin. That's an actual disease, though, y'all. And you don't take offense to none of that. No, I don't. Don't try to fucking sacrifice me for it. But oh no, I don't have a problem with it because it's a actual medical condition that passes through families. It's pretty much the same shit that could go into place for like if a person has lupus or sickle cell or excuse me, or diabetes, or how certain bloodlines are more likely to contract certain cancers, heart disease, all that kind of shit. But and then yeah, that's what this, because it has the fangs on it. The person, the skull may actually have fangs on it, but the person that would need to be known about that person in order for this ritual to be done. And then it has a blue candle, and it's a little girl. What this is giving is if they stepping into the dark side. Yeah, if they trying to be goth. Goth. Yeah, not emo, goth. Okay, even in the goth aspect, because that would refer back to Gothica. If you've ever seen the movie Gothica, yeah, because that's what all of this is really giving me. Gothica. And how in Gothica, uh, they were in the asylum, and a lot of them were being raped in the asylum by the warden of the asylum and his homeboy. And all of them kept talking about seeing, they didn't remember anything but this particular, I'll just say, not just for the, I heard flowers. Yeah, it's like, say for instance, the person had a tattoo of a flower somewhere, right? And they would be like, the flower is what raped me. But what it really is them identifying the person. And yeah, and it turned out it was the homeboy of the warden dude who, and they was filming it and recording. Is it? Oh my God! Is this about dark web shit? I heard yes. Oh great. Okay, well, one of them that I automatically know about that happens with the dark web is the Silk Road. Pay attention to if like any Trojan anything came up or through. That's something else. Um, but yeah, in regards to, yeah, because that be the problem when people will talk to you. Yeah, because I've seen this happen a couple times. If like what I would see is a person looking into a flame, and just a couple nights ago, no, I don't be scared because I know I'm safe. I know my physical body is safe. So there's that part. But now what I seen a couple nights ago though was somebody digging something up. What I'll say to that is, based on the person it was that I saw, how the fuck you gonna bury some shit with me while I'm doing healing shit for you? Get the fuck out of here. Y'all irk. Oh my God, these you people, you motherfucking just ungrateful. No, cause no, burying the hatchet. I don't know. I don't know about what a burying of the hatchet would constitute as. Cause that's speaking in regards to weaponry. Anything else? So, but ultimately, right? Yeah, how you motherfucker? Y'all ain't shit. I promise you, y'all people, y'all be doing too much. Daughter girls in reverse, and how a person wouldn't be friends. A person wouldn't be friends at first glance, right? A person would be friends on the income aspect. It'll be about the friendships that'll come into place when you're dealing with at the highest level other empaths. Healing, some of it'll be about narcissists that will be in the process of healing. And understanding that narcissism isn't something that takes place overnight. And by right, everybody has what constitutes as quote unquote narcissism in them. This is what I mean by that. Narcissism is its clinical definition. You could go look it up. But narcissism is you have to think about yourself and self-preservation. And in regards to some of the situations, or what else did you feel going on? I had well, just right now I just felt somebody like touch my face on my left side. I felt like some pressure on my face, like around my cheek and shit. I felt that. But the other night or so, it felt like some shit going on with my crown chakra. And how you got to be careful with Reiki. You do have to be really, really careful with Reiki. Because one of the things that can happen with Reiki, right? No, not just Reiki magic, but when you just go get your essence clear, if the Reiki person isn't cleared themselves, they can transfer that shit over to you. For instance, I did for my birthday, I finally got a deep tissue massage. It was an experiment. It was an experiment. Because ultimately, whenever those types of situations come into place, I would feel worse, but the other person would feel better because the way my essence is set up is it sucks out all of the bad. And I know how to dispose of it. But I am not a fucking trash can. That be the reason why I have no problem at all when I can't do something. Yeah, I just prepare myself for whenever the time is that I can. Have y'all ever paid attention to how many people are out in the world? I don't think y'all really pay attention to that. I'm just saying, somebody is really encouraging me. Oh my God, I love it. I love this for me. But no, if you really ever pay attention to just the people that are in, for me, right, within a 1 block radius, it's about every bit of 100 people. Okay, and when you're at a certain sensitivity level, you can feel everything going on with those 100 people. You can feel their sicknesses. You can feel their happiness. You can feel, and depending on what type of person they are, if they're a joyful person, just naturally joyful, you'll feel that spark of joy. And then right the fuck after that, if they standing next to a motherfucker who is just depressed as fuck, you'll get like this high of, oh, you're happy. And then you'll get this low of, damn, you say it. So paying that some attention as well, y'all. So Yeah, and what it is, and on top of this, in regards to whatever this ritual was that would have been done, induction. Okay, why would you have karmic people inducting a person? That's the first damn problem that you have. No, because in regards to this whole child, it being an actual child, I'm offended. I don't give a fuck who the child is. Why would you do that to your kid? That's the narcissism. That's the true narcissism that comes into place with this type of shit. That was selfish, that was uncalled for, and if you get your ass whooped behind it, so be it. In my clips voice, you deserve every last one of those, whatever you got going on, because you don't do that to no child. If the grown motherfuckers was karmic and fucked up with you, what makes you think they gonna have good intentions and teach your child the right shit? Y'all, woo! I didn't know that was about to be said. I didn't know that was about to be said. I don't watch Walking Dead, y'all. My sister just turned on Walking Dead. My bad. My bad. Anyway, five of Grails, 10 of Knives, the Devil reverse, right? So that's the disappointment with the ending of the obsession. That's the real disappointment that comes with it. Because if you would have swapped, traded, redirected your essence that you would have for a grown person onto a child, yeah, you automatically, that's the abandonment. You automatically abandon that child because your desires weren't correct. Whether they be for the negativity and their aggression, yeah, or it be I just heard keep a child in a child's place. Keep a child in a child's place. Children are meant to influence us to let go of our, adult shit. That's what they really, what we should be looking at them for. We shouldn't be looking for them as fucking energy essence sources. That's that's just too damn much. Y'all do too much. Y'all do too much and not enough. And my Dragons deck finally decided it wanted to come out. Lord, no, because it's been out for a couple days. Some of this Dragons deck and essence, it'll be about, yeah, some of it'll be about like across seas. And if you identify as a dragon. No, because I'm hearing Unleash the Dragon by Cisco, but if you've ever watched, what's it called? The Last Dragon. That's a black dude. And how, in order to even qualify to truly be a ninja, you have to have African heritage and ancestry. Okay, I'm hearing something from a different language, but I know Domo means thank you. Or are you practicing? Are you practicing that? Okay, I guess. Hmm. So within one's codependence, interdependence, their fortune being in the upright, within there being disappointment about one not winning at all costs. Yeah, and sure how a person will be mad that somebody not doing shit the way that they did. Okay, I was just gonna say one of the things that is that was completely different, especially in regards to the obsessions portion. I did everything differently than what it was that I saw the other person go through the same shit. I did everything completely differently than they did. When it was time for me to let some shit go, I just cut that shit off and let that shit go. So that's that part. But in regards to this, it'll be about the obsession with partying, being a third party situation, being a side nigga, side chick. Don't nobody. Why would you want to do this to yourself? Being something on the side. Come on, man. That's that old ass adage and paradigm. It's better to have a piece of a man or a woman even if you can't have the whole thing. Fuck that. I'm like my mama. I want the whole thing. Don't give me a piece of shit. Literally, no, I really don't want a piece of shit. But you get what I'm saying. The other portion of it is it'll be about the parties that would have gone on outside of the structure, celebrations that would have gone on outside of the structures. Because one of the stories that, or not stories, but one of the songs that I kept hearing last night was "Four Women" by Nina Simone. Okay, and the Four Women is realistically by that particular artist. She realistically is talking a whole. She's talking about how I heard all skin folk ain't kinfolk. It's not even necessarily about all skin folk being kinfolk, but how trauma is the one thing all of us can relate to. Now, what a lot of people don't want to relate to is actually being able to heal from that trauma. Acknowledge it, heal from it. All right? So, in regards to some of this, right, what you want to pay attention to is some lawyers and anesthesiologists. Um, no, because if they're a lawyer or anesthesiologist and they don't have a humanitarian view, that would be a problem. And in regards to what would have taken place during Uranus retrograde, it would have been highlighted that, yeah, the rebellion that would have come into place with it would be a person being disappointed because they are now that third party situation. Y'all do too much. I promise you, y'all do. And the influence that comes into place with motherfuckers lying. What it is to lie. To lie, to lie, tell the truth, or some shit be unclear. Nah, because here's the deal. Or nah, they were out of the structure for the third party situation because they were lying. Oh, so in short, how a motherfucker couldn't even be, and being out of structure for emotional intelligence. Let's not forget that portion. Being out of the structure for emotional intelligence and lying about the emotional intelligence that would have come into place with the third party situation. I said it before and I'll say it again. Love is grown man, grown woman business. Romantic love like that, grown man, grown woman business. Part 1. Part 2. Children typically learn through the examples that are around them. Part 3. Okay. Part 3. When you're dealing with third party situations, it's not wise to ever pit your child against your mate. That is a narcissistic tendency that comes into place that will cause distrust because now it becomes easy for that child to have leverage over your mate. This is what I mean by that. Yeah, because you'll get some kids who, because one person don't like the other person, one grown person don't like another grown person, they'll lie on the grown person. And it'll be the wrong person for them to fucking lie on. Or lie to. Yeah, let's not forget about that. Let's not forget about that. I started like with Lying on the Stand with Michael Jackson. Okay, we can go with that. You motherfuckers got some shit. God damn. The injustices that come into place with how things will be completed in a spiritual connection. The injustices, the imbalances, how one would be in isolation in regards to that fulfilling a spiritual connection. Well, one of the things it is that I'll say that comes into place with a lot of this, for real. And then I'm gonna clear this. Yeah, we gonna, cause it, in short, when this shit piled on top of one another, all the shit is just piling on, piled on, piled on, piled on, piled on. Yeah, this is a lot of shit. This is a lot of shit, y'all. This is a lot of shit. And I'm gonna go ahead and even say, in regards to this being a lot of shit that would be piled up on top of a person just so that they could be codependent. Just so that they could be codependent. That's why that's why these damn vampires then came out. I heard, but what about if a person is sick? I don't want to hear that, because last time that I heard about a person being sick and I started getting scratched up and all this other shit. Bitch, if you that motherfucking sick, then you need to stop being around whoever the fuck is making you that damn sick. If you sick, it's a reason behind it. No, because typically if something happens to me, I be thinking, damn, what did I do? I retrace my own damn steps. What did I do? And if what I did wouldn't have warranted me hurting that damn bad. Huh? And how it would be, yeah, oh, well, this person couldn't get through, but I know this person can. Damn, y'all doing that? This is not good. Alright. Yeah, I done cleared up that whole Starman Tarot aspect and the indecision and being indecisive and all that other shit. Yeah, what it is to be indecisive or to hold one piece of clarity for yourself versus another, or a person being cut off. Another one. 2 days, 2 days or 2 day. Oh my goodness. No, cause one of the songs it was that I was hearing was an old song that I used to listen to. I did put on my videos that children shouldn't watch my videos. I did. Alright, go ahead and say what you have to, Mom. I said that kids should not watch my videos if they are not with their parent and not trying to work things out with their parent. I said that several times because I understand that children are easily impressionable. They are impressionable. So whatever the fuck, oh my God, what did y'all do? Pause. I already know what was done based out of what I've seen in the cars. Y'all should not have done that. You shouldn't have done that. Should not have done that. Shouldn't have done that. That was a very poor choice. Now, even for a child to make, that was a very, very, very poor choice. And how the fuck you gonna identify? This is for the grown people, so how the fuck you gonna identify with Harry Potter or say that you're Harry Potter? Yeah, but you look at the person who trying to help everybody as Voldemort. Yeah, you should have, with common sense, should have. Common sense ain't common. Common sense ain't common. Okay, I'm hearing somebody call me by my first name. Stop. But common sense, it's not common. It's not common. It's not common. And when a motherfucker wants something, all the common sense and all this shit just goes right out the motherfucking door. That is so saddening. Yeah, because I've been doing these fucking readings for I don't know how long. And to see the exact same messages continuously come. Yeah, just through different readers. It's been even some of the messages that I've watched more up to date. Yeah, they would have been messages that I would have delivered. But I had to delete my shit because y'all want to play games and y'all thought I wasn't going to remember that I did it in this reading or that reading. Yeah, because a lot of this shit was coming up in Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio reading. And I had to let y'all know. And in a planets reading. Yeah, and in a planets reading. And the projecting. Or what will be to come in the future. In any event, Hierophant, the transcendental spiritual truths, beyond a shadow of a doubt being the key. I'm hearing keys to success, okay, and the bad health, change, and then it being the lovers reverse. That's, yeah, with a person not being a lover. In the alchemicalization of it, it'll be about the transcendental spiritual truth that comes into place with a person being a lover, being a Gemini. Lover, Gemini, doing what they feel, and how with seahorses, I always say this. And you could have been a seahorse in a past life. That could be your feminine essence. Your feminine essence from a past life doesn't have to be that you were a human woman. Just putting it out there. Yeah, just like for in this regard with seahorses, a woman or your past life could have been if you were a fucking seahorse. Yeah, the men get pregnant, but the men also eat the kids after they're born if they hungry, so that they can feed the other kids. I'm just saying, that's too. Go look up the behaviors of seahorses. You'll find it really interesting. It'll help you with your animology, not animosity. Animology. Reciprocation over the course of 6 years, the willpower to reciprocate in regards to what it is that will be projected. So you got the okay, the solidness that comes into place with Venus and Neptune, and one holding on to what it is that they will desire over the course of 4 years. No, because some of this, no, some of it, it'll be about, oh my God. Oh, yeah, in the medical aspect, it'll be about blood clots. Okay, that was a lot. Is this shit on Facebook or something, or on some social media platform? And there being the judgment. Yeah, because some of the shit it is that I'm seeing. Okay, Tommy Davidson shared one of his things with a white mom. Okay. He's adopted. That's interesting. But in any event, some of this is going to be about one not being able to go on another day, with being rejected in the wish fulfillment due to indecision outside of the community, within one's fortune being in the upright, and that completing a cycle for the apology, and one not walking away 3 years ago. 3 years ago, within one not expanding, not having a small offer of stability in regards to doing what it is that would inspire them within not being protected and being the emperor. Some of this is going to be about the president. I read the cards off real quick. Nine of Wands reversed. Four of Cups upright. Nine of Cups upright. Two of Swords upright. Four of Wands reversed. Wheel of Fortune upright. The World upright. Knight of Cups upright. Eight of Cups reversed. Three of Pentacles reversed. Page of Pentacles reversed. King of Wands upright. Seven of Wands reversed. Emperor upright. Some of this is going to be about what it is that will go on inside of one's mind. Some of it will be about 9 weeks ago. But one not completing the inspiration within it being three cups filling up one cup. So what would have been paid attention to in regards to there being a wish fulfillment? And what would have gone on between April and motherfucking September? If this is going to be about what it is that will be clearing out, how some people would be doing spell work. Go ahead and say what you have to, and the shit not being an illusion, most certainly. But how a person would burn 9 candles, so a person would know what it is that would have happened between the months of April and September 3 years ago. And then when you would find out, that a person would have been indecisive about whether or not they want to be in a community. Marriage, all this other stuff. And not being a twin flame. If you want to go there. Yeah, in short, the higher self wouldn't be a part of their community. I feel preempted to say that twin flames came in waves. They came in waves. So what I'm kind of getting from that is, if you weren't able to complete the contract as a twin flame in like a previous life, this may be something for somebody. But twin flame or spiritual connection in a previous life, so however this goes on. Yeah, because we can't bypass, right? Because somebody might try to mix the signals. Y'all do that a lot. Especially in this communication. Text messages, emails. And what the reality of it is, what the desired communication is. That's what it's about, the desired communication. When you desire the communication to be telepathically, versus the communication being actually anchored. The anchoring things is like forgiveness. It's not for the other person, it's for you. It's to cover your ass. And forgiveness don't always mean access. So in any event, Two of Swords. Yeah, so the indecision that would have come into place with one heart, and the reality of the stability and practicality of the decision that's bound inside one's heart. And then being outside of the community. And the Fortune being in the upright with Anubis. And what it is that would have been planted in the world as intimacy, and the Navy is also some of it. Okay. In regards to what it is that would have happened with one walking away, with one not having an abundance of emotions, within not expanding. And sure, how a person wouldn't be mad that they wouldn't have expanded. Now, what will be coming in is about how one will walk away in regards to, over the course of 3, walk away to expand the offer of stability. The offer of stability, or small token of stability. And provide protection. I talked about that at the beginning. Yeah, in short, how the shit's not an illusion. And let me go ahead and say this. how so bad, yeah, where people will fuck up with things is when you want Facebook to be real. When you want Facebook to be real. When you want Facebook to be real, Instagram to be real, all of these shits to be real. Yeah, and if you know whether or not you know about slice of life shit. But yeah, so strength, the influence of strength for Leo, and within it being Leo season. I told y'all everything gonna get picked all the way the fuck apart during Leo season, but the influence of one strength being alive. Strength being alive or the strength yesterday. Okay, one strength yesterday. No, because I just heard some. Yeah, I don't know if you all are hearing them, but I'm hearing like horns honking and shit around me. Is somebody traveling? No, because that's what it's giving. There's some. Okay, it's given that somebody would be traveling. In the event that you would be traveling, yeah. If we're talking about with playing a basketball game, don't do that. That's not fair. Uh, yeah, is step bounce. Okay, yeah, and paying attention to like double dribbling and stuff. That'll be about the whole mental aspect of, and in regards to like the actual travel portions of it. Now, because one of the things that I personally have learned is if I can astral project or if I can see myself in a space, then I'll get to that space. That I can get to that space. That's that part. But if a person is traveling, if you're traveling, some of this stuff with the piling up on one thing on top of another, yeah, some of it'll be about some pile ups. Be careful with that. Please be careful with that because it's been a lot of shit going on. The other one is if you're seeing a whole bunch of road signs, and if you know what those road signs and shit like that mean. I'm saying road signs, but what I'm seeing is road. ROGUE. That's how you spell road. Yeah. ROGUE. And if you know the X Men, the superhero Rogue, she absorbs the power of the other person, and she can call up on it and use it whenever she fucking needs it. So to summarize, some of you all passed on loved ones, they had these as abilities. Um, and final messages that'll come into place with it is the mature woman, the official person of the unexpected income. Um, but if you're, yeah, some of your passed on relatives would have had, yeah, like gifts and second sight because before I even started this Aunt Caroline in the hoodoo deck, yeah, black people, they used to hang us, burn us, and eat us. And not just during slavery. They used to have mummy parties and all this other shit, y'all. So, yeah, be mindful of all this shit. They even had a whole fucking cookbook on how to eat a nigga. So serious. I think that was the name of it. I'm not even playing with y'all. I'm not. I'm so serious. But yeah, hopefully it helps you guys out just a little bit. Maybe a tad bit of an inclination. That's a few different things it is that will be going on. Her hard cards. Do the hard cards. Really? Why do y'all like me doing love the hard cards shit? Oh my goodness. I just did heart. I just did the heart portion of it. I just showed love. This is my Uranus essence by spreading my awareness. Heard are you getting the hard cards out though? I am. Don't judge me. Judge me. Don't judge me. All right. Yeah, because I'm pretty sure that some of these, in regards to the irony is, it'll be about the heart cards. It wouldn't be about the romance portion of it. Her, thank you. You're welcome. No, because one of the things that would go into place is how a person would try to raise your heart rate. Okay, so y'all do understand when resting heart rate, yeah, because what is given is when you have a resting heart rate, athletes' hearts, yeah, like they have a different heart rate than someone else. And if you're trying to connect to a person who, yeah, if you're trying to connect to a person that will be an athlete, I want to say, especially if they're a swimmer. But if you're trying to connect to a person that's an athlete, you can't get mad if they heart don't beat as fast as yours when you around. For them, yeah, like say for instance, they resting the heart rate is like, I'm gonna say it's uncommon, but it's like 30, 34, 35, right? I'm just throwing some shit out here, y'all. Don't quote me on this. But say for instance, they rest their heart rate is like 34, 35. And so by the time they come around you, yeah, now they rest their heart rate is 52. Okay? For them, that is their heart beating real fast. Just the same as when it comes to you, right? If a person, if your resting heart weight, okay, in the Anubis aspect, that'll be about weighing a person's heart against a feather. But because Anubis came out, but yeah, so like say for instance, your resting heart rate would typically be, I'll say just throwing numbers out there, 79, right? That's your resting heart rate on a regular basis. Please understand, resting heart rate means when you're not moving, you're not doing anything, just sitting there. Okay? When you get up and start walking around, that raises your heart rate. Yeah, and depending on what your heart rate is, that determined by exercise. So some of the other stuff I'm thinking that this will be dealing with is like cholesterol. Okay, cholesterol and shit like that. All right, forgiveness. Stop focusing your essence on past events, for life is too precious to waste. You create your reality by what you think, dream, and imagine. Passions. Ooh. A magnetic and seductive quality surrounds you at present. Enjoy it. Any, anything else? Okay, I know I need to communicate this. Is there anything else? Is there anything else? Okay, come on now. Stop playing with it. Don't play. Don't play with it now. Forgiveness, passion. Let's see, what else? Secret admirer. Okay, this is where all of the hard stuff starts coming out. And what does it mean to be a secret admirer? Sexual union. Yeah, I personally be getting annoyed as fuck with that because secret admirers turn into stalkers. Yeah, in short, some of the people who constituted as secret admirers for me before showed up in my life as stalkers and people who wanted to fuck me up. So if there's some love spell shit that would have been going on, yeah, it's to mask the fact that they. I told y'all slavery was a big ass fucking love spell. Overall essence of sexual union. Honor the place in one another where you are one eternal soul, for there you will find true bliss. that explains why it is I wanted to make the statement. If your heart, if your heart is combining, because it is thought to be so romantical. Oh my God, this is so romantic. Our hearts beat at the same time, right? Yeah, which means either one person's heart rate speeds up or the other person's heart rate slows down. So, however that comes into place. Secret admirer and the forgiveness aspect. Someone has deeper feelings for you than they are letting on. This is the reason why I have an issue with secret admirer. Because it says deeper feelings for you than they are letting on. Now, it's a heart right here. It is a motherfucking heart right here. You hear me? But if the person has heart disease or is abusive, them being a secret admirer ain't always a good thing. That's why I be saying it. That's why I ask y'all, why y'all want me to read the heart cards? Yeah, I handle this shit so fucking logically, it's ridiculous. And it's always worked well for me. In short, when people become upset when you're in alignment with your head and your heart. When you think with your heart. You don't think with your head, you think with your heart. Ooh, or whatever. Ooh, for some of y'all, that's some of the problems y'all having. Because your head isn't at the top, it's at the bottom. Anyway, don't make decisions based on guilt or what you think you should do, for it is only in being true to yourself that you can be true to others. You got to be true to you. You got to be true to you. You may not always understand why certain things happen. However, there is always a higher purpose to the events in your life. Through turmoil, a blessing will soon be revealed. No, I didn't want to read that. Yeah, because this is the Six of Cups aspect that comes in the whole dragon-like aspect. Dragon meaning going slow or whatever, how it goes. I didn't want to read these because the reality of it is that last part is what get people fucked up and what's gotten a lot of people fucked up. Because when it's enough turmoil already going on. And some people may not see things as having turmoil or tumultuous. Right? What you constitute as turmoil and what somebody else may constitute as turmoil, two completely different fucking things. Okay? But through turmoil, I just heard like a person who's independent and has to depend on others. Yes, that will be a form of turmoil for that person. Just the same as a person who is codependent having to be independent would constitute as turmoil. It don't, because some motherfuckers see the shit as, and I'll give you another example for us people who like being literal and technically, right? The turmoil could very well be that there would be construction or an accident that would happen, right? And like my past shit. Me being in an accident, that constitutes as turmoil. I don't want to do that shit no more. Fuck y'all and fuck that. I'll stay in the house until I have to fucking leave. Y'all can kiss my ass. Friendship. Fuck that. Nope. Won't catch me slipping. You'll find a bitch under a tree some damn where before you find me in some of them other places. Friendship. Nurture. Okay, this must have been one of the reasons it was that I did, because I'm seeing reflected back to me in the spell work. The seven, I want to say it's a Seven of Swords card in the Civil Witches Tarot. In short, the magical strategy and how it that's what that means. No, and that's the reason why something would be broken, because if you bind yourself to a person magically and you have there you go. Okay, if a person binds themselves to you magically regardless of what it is they put that they want you to be to them. If that's not who you are or what you're supposed to be to that person, you're not gonna be that person. It's gonna take too much magic in order to make it come into fruition. It won't be natural. What I was saying in that regard is stop trying to do magic. Stop. If you know another person is magical, don't do magic on them. That's just the safest way. You motherfuckers just go heal. Do some self-love rituals. And I'm not talking about masturbation. I'm talking about some actual, if you gotta deal with candles and shit like that, yeah, light a pink candle and look at yourself. Look at pictures of yourself. Examine yourself. Study yourself. That is not vanity. That is called self-awareness. Friendship. Nurture the bonds of friendship within your relationship and your love life will dramatically improve. This says, nurture the bonds of friendship within your relationship and your love life will dramatically improve. It does not, yes, this is why, again, I didn't want to bring the cards out because that word love life, and there being so many different forms of love. And I'm always, and a bitch is always right. In any event, like I said.